You're listening to the British Baseball Podcast. Hello, baseball family. Matthew here with another episode of the British Baseball Podcast. I'm excited to have alongside me Gabe Rincones. How are you doing, Gabe?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, sounds a pound. We've had a nice little chinwag off air, so I'm hoping to try and incorporate some more of that into this episode because there's been some absolute nuggets in there too. So if you got any FIFA fans out there, this is the episode for you. Gabriel, but before we get into all the football talk, do you want to give us a bit of your background for those that don't know you, like your home life, your family life, and how you got to be where you are today?
Yeah, so I was born in Boynton Beach, Florida. So it's only fitting that I come back for my last year in college, which is Boca Raton. It's like right next to Boynton Beach, so it come around full circle. But I was born in Florida and then moved to Venezuela for 6 years, and then since my whole family's Venezuelan, so I moved there. And then at the age of 6, I moved to Scotland from ages like 6 to 12 years old. Move here, but without my parents. So sisters and mum and dad still over there. Looking to go back in January for a couple of days, maybe 2 weeks. Get to see some old mates and my family. But so basically, grew up with my uncle Roberto here in America, and that's it. Honestly, just been playing baseball. Played football, judo, swimming over in Scotland because obviously there's no baseball. So family did me a favor and sent me over here.
Yeah, were you into baseball then when you were living in Venezuela before you moved
Yeah,
to
I
Glenrothes?
got into baseball because my dad played professionally for the Mariners, and then I always wanted to be like my dad. So got into playing baseball at a pretty young age, like 2.5 years old. I was always a big lad, so um, some of the parents would be like, let's see that birth certificate. He's not at 2 years old."
How hard was it for you then when you got to Scotland and not having like baseball there?
I mean, I was told I was going on holiday, so it's like I was expecting to go back and play baseball. So didn't really think about it. So I just kind of make friends over there, learn to speak English, because obviously my first language was Spanish. I mean, even when I didn't know English, I would still go out with my neighborhood friends in the Warra area, and just hang around. Like I didn't know how to speak English, but I'd go play football with them. It was fun, honestly. It was only till like ages 11 to 12 when I was just like, I want to play baseball. I would go on Sundays and play for the Edinburgh Cannons, but it wasn't really like a focus. It was always just like my answer to my parents when they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up was be a baseball player. So until they actually like sat me down and said, if you wanted to go play baseball, and I just like thought about it. I was like, yeah, just send me over. I hadn't really thought about it that much
Was that a
until now.
difficult decision for you to make though as a 12-year-old? I mean, like
No,
most
no.
12-year-olds don't know what they want for the breakfast. And you're sort of like making this big future decision like to leave your family, I suppose. And
I do remember like the day before I was supposed to fly out, I was like saying goodbye to my, not all of them, because they were all inside doing something at their house. But I remember Jordan, my buddy Joe Boy is his nickname, but it's Jordan. I was like, oh, you ever coming back? You going to America? He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just gonna go play baseball, and then in the near future I'll come back, and every now and then. Don't speak with Jordan anymore. Don't know what he's doing anymore, but he's one of my good friends. Honestly, I was just like, right, let's go. Send me over. I want to play baseball.
so your love of baseball was just sort of so much it made you. Well,
Yeah,
a lot of
it's just like something that never. It always stuck with me because like I don't know. I guess I did love it, but I never.
mm,
It wasn't like I'm infatuated with baseball. Like I love baseball so much, and that was the reason that made it so easy because it wasn't easy. Like I went to the airport, my mum started crying, and I was just like trying not to laugh just because that's how I'd like handle certain situations that are awkward, just kind of like, it'll be all right. I'll come back in the summers and I'll see you. It wasn't like I have no idea. It was like I was guided. I felt like this is what I was supposed to do. Just come and give it a shot.
Because I've seen you've got the Scottish flag embroidered on one of your gloves in one of your photos. So you must have, like, how special is Scotland to you, and what do you miss most about it?
I mean, Scotland's always going to be a part of me. It's like people when I speak like this to all my American friends, they're like, why don't you speak like this all the time? And I'm like, oh, because you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. They always ask me, what did you say? Like what? And I'm like, I don't know. Scotland will always be a part of who I am. Like I miss the people there, the atmosphere. Like even though baseball is not a thing there, and I used to get made fun of because I like playing baseball. Scotland will always be like one of my homes, you know. So it's kind of difficult to put into words, but
Hmm.
it's just when it's a part of you, it's like something that you'll always be grateful for.
As you mentioned before that your dad famously played for the Mariners, how influential has he been on your career?
It's been second to none, honestly. It's been, I mean, just from him playing baseball professionally was enough for me to like want to be that way because people say I'm like a replica of my dad. I'm like, right, stop saying that I'm a replica. I get it. I look the same, act the same. I get the point, but um, I guess I'm just kind of the same as him. So he's been like my role model this whole time playing baseball up until. I mean, it doesn't help that he's a pitcher, and if to answer Jason Dare's question, if we were to face off the same age, I'd definitely take him deep.
Yeah, for those that haven't seen the question, Jason Durr from Ball Caps and Bagpipes asked, "Who's better, you or your dad?" It'd be an interesting battle. One of them ones like
Oh
in
yeah.
Rocky when they do the computer simulation.
Also, like I know he threw 95 miles an hour back when it was considered like throwing hard. So, I mean, I can only imagine with like the care they do nowadays, how
Mm,
hard he can throw if he was my age now. So it's like
yeah,
he grew up when minor league baseball was underdeveloped, honestly.
yeah.
So he must have been pretty good.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a little icebreaker, a bit of fun here before we get into the meat of the questions. We're gonna do one line, two truths. So you've seen this question in advance. So I want you to give me one line, two truths, and I'm gonna see if I can guess which one you're lying about and which one is which one are real. I've had some crackers on this so far, so there's a
Right,
high bar being set.
right, you ready?
Yeah.
I eat peanut butter jelly sandwiches without the jelly. I was the best baseball player all 4 years of high school. I didn't make the high school team 2 years in a row in high school, so I got cut.
Oh, okay.
Which one's a lie? Which one's true?
I think for the story purposes, I think it would be amazing if the lie was the peanut sandwiches, so that you were cut as a ball player, then became the best player, and then your trajectory is taking you to where you are. That's what I'm going with. Peanut butter sandwiches.
So the lie is that I was the best player all 4 years of high school. I was the best player in my last year of high school,
Yeah.
and I don't put jelly on my peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Why not?
Just ruins it, honestly, for
I'm
me.
with you.
For me.
I had it on a massive bike ride, and it's the weirdest tasting thing in the world. And I don't get the fascination with it. It's just odd.
And my girlfriend's like, "Yo, you're weird," like, and I'm like, "No, you're weird. You're the one that puts jelly on
Mm.
your sandwiches."
Yeah, now shut up and eat this haggis. Don't talk to me about weird foods. Oh, haggis is delicious. It is haggis weather now as
I can't
well.
wait to have some. You know, it's illegal to import it into America.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
don't know, but I'm gonna have some when I go back in January,
Oh man,
and I'm gonna make her taste it. Also, she's gonna love it. Everyone's like, "Oh, she's been tasting." It's like, no, oh, it's good.
that was good. I like that one. Good answers. I also,
Yeah.
I thought you'd be modest enough not to say you were the best ball player for the whole of it.
See, to me, to me, I was the best player, but in reality, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
because you had a first round pick, who was a year older than me,
Really?
and then you know Kyle Tucker
Yeah.
for the Astros, he was 2 years before him, so it's like long line of
Hmm.
first rounders and big leaguers. But to this day, I'm still the best player to come out of the program. So
Is that HB Plant High School?
yeah,
Yeah, because there's quite a lot of other notable names to come out there. 11 major leaguers, including All Stars, Pete Alonso, Kyle Tucker, and Wade Boggs, all from
yep,
that high school. Yeah, so you're in a long list. Definitely doing something right, something in the water up there.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk then about your time in Scotland. I've seen some cracking shots of you in your Scotland baseball jersey. What are your favourite on-field and off-field memories of playing
In
ball in
Scotland,
Scotland? Yeah.
honestly, just being around everyone because I wasn't. I mean, obviously, I wasn't as good as I wanted to be then and in high school. So it was just playing with like the older guys and just having fun. And like the people that didn't know how to play baseball, they'd just look at me like, "Who's this guy? Like, why is he so good?" I wasn't good, but like comparison, I was pretty decent for my age. So it was just like being around the guys and actually getting to play baseball instead of just throwing a ball into the wall.
Yeah. So how far do you have to travel then from Fife to Edinburgh?
Just not that like an hour, maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, worth it though.
Unless I went to Glasgow, it was about an hour and a half.
Hmm. When you started playing ball in high school, how hard was it then for you to settle into your new routine?
It honestly took me like 3 or 4 years to actually call America my home because like I just was different. Like I was different when I got to Scotland, but I was also like 6 years old, so I got to grow up there. And then after like settling in there, come over here and then just like fit in here just took me a little bit longer. I just felt a little bit more comfortable because I came to play baseball, and then after the first 2 years, I got cut from it. So it's like I wasn't even on the team. Just like stay up and play video games until I just couldn't stay awake anymore because I wasn't on the team.
Yeah.
Um, and then it's just like I didn't like rap music. Now I do, but it was just like didn't listen to rap music. I didn't call rubber an eraser. Didn't call the rubbish the trash. Just like little different things that just made me different. Uh, it was only till like junior year of high school,
Hmm.
uh, well, I learned to speak like everyone else, and not because I wasn't like proud of who I was or where I come from. It's just so that like kind of lay low on the radar, and then anybody who knew me knew that I could, you know, where my roots come from. Kind of just something I decided when I came here. I was like, I'm gonna just lay low and learn to speak like everyone else, because if not, I'll just be, I don't know. It's kind of a strategy that I took,
Yeah.
uh, but that take me a couple of years to get used to it.
Yeah. Were people quite accepting of you, like being an outsider sort of thing? Or
Yeah, I think that they just didn't care enough to actually be like rude. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you from that boy from Switzerland? Like, no, I'm from Scotland. Uh, it's like, oh, where's Scotland? Because over there they teach you everything. Like they teach you geography, teach you where's America, over here it's like all American history. And it's
Hmm.
just focus on just America. And it's not like anyone else's fault. Like America has a lot of history. And it's a lot of like it's very important to be to all know all that stuff. But some Americans don't even know American history. Like so it's not really their fault. Uh, so I kind of learned that over the years. It's just like they're not doing it to be disrespectful or ignorant. They're just living, like they're
yeah.
just going around their business. Like, yeah, they were really accepting. People now they're like, well, why didn't you talk like this the whole time? We would have loved it. Like people would love you. I'm like, yeah, you say that, but like after a couple of weeks of hearing this accent, it's just different. People get a little bit annoyed.
Would you do anything differently if you had your time again, like through
No,
that period of your life, or are you
no,
happy with the way it turned out, or how you
yeah,
turned out?
yeah, because I don't know, it's this cool little tidbit that people that know me, can hear this part of me. I mean, now it's on a podcast and they can hear, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't, I wouldn't change it, honestly.
That's cool. So when your baseball journeys allowed you to go to a lot of really cool places. Who's some of the best players that you ever seen play?
Aaron Judge was decent. He's pretty good. I saw him in spring training. Saw Altuve play.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Especially for his size, he's not that big, and he can still hit the ball pretty far. But honestly, I don't go out to the games, like big league games.
No, just like to keep yourself to yourself.
Yeah, just kind of because I was I was very like focused. I was like, I don't need to go to the stadium and watch all these other players play if I'm not good enough to play there yet. So I was
Yeah.
always like a very better at myself because I wasn't as good as I wanted to be. So like going to the game as a fan would honestly like make me cross, honestly.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like a bit like imposter syndrome type of stuff. Yeah, I got myself a GB baseball t-shirt, and I don't wear it as much as I thought I would because I don't feel like I should be wearing it. I don't feel like I've earned it, if that makes sense. Because I watch you guys on there wearing the shirt, and you've worked so hard to be where you are to represent Great Britain, and I've just got a t-shirt, and I just don't feel like it's right for me to wear it. You
Yeah,
know?
but like if you don't wear it, like there's no reason for us to play. Do you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you you don't have to do anything to earn it because like just your support alone is why we play. So I think of it like that. You're worthy to wear that jersey. Um, but like for me, it was like that's just how I motivate myself. I'm like honestly kind of uh, talk trash to myself. I'm like,
Yeah,
you're not good enough to play that stadium, so you can't go watch other players who are going to be your opponents or teammates and like praise them. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't go there. So that's just like how I'm wired, just like a little bit.
no, I can see that, and again, I think it's a really cool way to sort of motivate and drive yourself. Um, yeah, the first time you ever go to like X Stadium is when you're stepping out there to bat. That's a really cool
Yeah.
story in itself. So let's get onto that road then, like because you're now with the Phillies, but back in 2021, you actually drafted by the Padres in the 19th round. Can you talk us through that?
A lot of emotions. I was very invested into that draft. I mean, I thought with the year that I had, I was like, honestly, I had the wrong mindset because no matter what happened, I wasn't. I definitely know now that I wasn't meant to get what I want that year because it was a lot of me forcing things to go my way. Like, I want this, I did that, when really, like, nothing started happening for me until like I let go control to Jesus Christ, and it was very hard to do because I wanted everything to go my way, and I wanted to do it, and I wanted to manifest everything, but I just simply wasn't ready. Um, because at the time I also had a labrum tear.
Mm,
Uh, so even if I did get the 800K that I asked for to go in the second round, um, I just wasn't like ready. Like it wasn't time.
yeah.
But a lot of emotions went into that draft because I got the Player of the Year award at all Florida Junior College, so I felt like I worked too much to just go in the 19th round. Like I didn't get a call the whole draft until the end when I was picked. I was like glued to the TV from rounds 1 to 5, and then after the fourth, fifth round, I was like, shut the TV off. I was like, I'm not getting what I asked for. I'm not getting a call, so this just this is it for the draft this year. It was just as simple as that. I had my tea, and then um, just went home because I was at my uncle's place with my grandma and uh, my aunts and uncles, and everyone was just there. like waiting for me to get drafted, and then nothing happened. Like my phone was buzzing every time it buzzed. I was like, oh no, just like notification from someone else. Like Snapchat sent you something. I'm like, and then after that, I was extremely just emotional. Like it was bad. Like, but it only lasted for like a day, and then I used that for motivation. So I was like, all right, like they think I need to do more. I'll just do more. Like I'll just hit more home runs next year. Because I also out of junior college, like the the market's not very big for junior college hitters. So for me to ask for like second round, third round money, I would have had to do it at a different program.
So what sounds like a really emotional and long day for them during that draft. Well, people will know that you now with the Phillies anyway. How hard was it to turn down the Padres at that moment in time, and what was going through your head when you're going to make those decisions?
It was emotional for that day and then the next day after the draft, um, because I was like, right, all this work I did, all the season that I had, clearly didn't merit anything to what I wanted. And then I was like, I asked for 800,000. Now I have to suffer the consequences that comes with being stubborn and getting what I want. Because if I were to say yes, I'll sign with you, Padres for 200,000 or whatever it was, that just makes me look like I have no integrity, don't know what I want, desperate, which is just like not who I am. Like if that last year didn't go as I planned, I wouldn't have changed anything
Hmm.
because that's just the path that I decided to go with,
Yeah,
uh, and I have to stick with that, or else, it's no integrity in that.
yeah. So what then changed for you in 2022 as an individual to get yourself from 19th, um, 19th rounder to being a second pick for the Phillies, which was third round? How did you approach that?
I gave my life to Christ, and ever since fully committed, living for Christ, everything's been what I've wanted. Like instead of like all the things that I wanted years ago came true in the same year that I stopped thinking about that and putting that first. I put Christ first, and everything else was given to me after that. Because all the things that I did before that, I guess to my theory wasn't. I was just getting prepared to finally, commit living to life, following, pursuing Christ, putting Him first, and then honestly everything after that, third round, um, the money that came with it, the opportunity, uh, everything that I could possibly have prayed for before that. It's just funny that I gave up control. I stopped caring about it and just go play and stop thinking about it, and then everything started happening.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I burn myself out worrying about stuff that I can't control. And I was listening to a lot of podcasts about like, stoicism, and it boiled down to just worry about the things that you can control. Especially being a parent, I would literally just go through scenarios after scenario after scenario of all sorts of ridiculous things, and I'd be exhausted from it. And I'm trying now to sort of just like, what can I control? Worry about that.
Yeah,
Anything else that
yeah,
I can't control, it's nothing to do. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And I feel much better for it. Like that sort of mindset, just I feel a bit more free.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, even the things that I could control, I was controlling it too much.
Mm.
Sometimes we can want to control things too much because we think we could do it better. But when people do that, they just don't let God control things for them, and it's like scary to give up control because then you have no authority over them.
Mm.
But but when you kind of come to letting Him have authority over the things that you do. It's just the bad stuff get weeded out, and then all the
Yeah,
good stuff just all of a sudden start to happen.
interesting. So, can you tell us then about that fateful draft day? What were your memories and emotions like going into that draft? Were you thinking, that this could be the same thing again, or had you had like
No,
sort of word that your stock had improved?
so I pretty much season ended. Then the whole time I was, every now and then I would get a scout call me and then ask for how much I would sign for, and it would just go back to, you could talk to my agent about that, redirect him to the agent. I wasn't invested at all in the draft. I didn't want to hear anything about it. Um, you know how Google gives you suggestions like, oh, you'll like this, freaking MLB draft prospects, top prospects for MLB. Every time I would just click the X, not interested, not interested, not interested. And I just honestly, I cared, honestly, like I did care about it, but I didn't want to hear it because
Hmm.
like going down that rabbit hole for me, I didn't want to do it again. Like didn't want to put emphasis on it. Uh, I was just, I said to myself, whatever happens is what is meant for me. Like I've prayed about it. Now the only thing I can do is hope and have faith, have trust in it. Because if you doubt just a little bit, your trust is gone. Like just trust and just play video games and just listen to music until your time's come. Because once the draft hits, you'll have uh, all that you need. Not anything more, not anything less. You'll have what you need. And then draft day comes around. Uh, get my get a call from my agent, says the Phillies want to take me for in the third round, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll go with it. It's the best deal that I think I'll get, and Phillies it is. And then I see it, I get a call. Congratulations, Phillies took you. Uh, no emotions at all, facial blank, no expressions. I'm just like, okay, all right, let's go. It was just like weeks later, it just hit me. I was like happy, like the emotions that I should have felt on draft day hit me weeks later. I was just like, my girlfriend was like, I was gonna kill you because you didn't. I thought that the call was to say that you weren't gonna get picked because you just looked blank faced. I'm like, no, they picked me.
Was it more the shock of it, or like was it just
Yeah,
really
I
weird to
think
hear?
it was shock because I was like, honestly, I didn't feel any different because
Hmm.
uh, I feel like I had the draft emotions, the draft expectations. Uh, like I've experienced them years before that, and I kept playing that over in my head. I just didn't have anything left because it felt the same. You know what I mean? It was kind of just thinking about it over and over and over again. So when it happened, I was like, this isn't any different than I've been visualizing and feeling. Like I used to look at myself in the mirror and uh, like feel those emotions. I just like kind of talk to myself and speak as like the commentator, like with whatever pick, uh, team picks Gabriel Rincones Jr. in the first round, in the second round, and then I just like kind of pretend that I got picked, and then I don't know, it's just like every time I would do it, I guess just didn't feel any different than when I actually got picked. I was like, oh my god, like it's the same thing. I was just like no emotions. I don't know.
How did your family react when you told them?
They were like, I called them. They were like, they didn't even answer. The first call that I called them, they didn't answer, and I was like, and then they called me right after, and they were pretty chuffed. They were really happy.
Should have left them a voicemail, like one of the most important calls of your life. Like, yeah, Dad, yeah, it's got drafted in the third round of the Phillies. Just give me a call when you can. Cheers.
Honest,
Phenomenal.
everyone had more emotion than I did on draft day.
Yeah, that's so funny. Do any of the, like you said before, that you didn't speak to Jordan from your high school, and there's some kids that's all like, oh, the baseball kid. Did you hear from any of those school friends in Scotland when you got drafted, or
Yeah,
what did they make of
there's
it?
a lot, honestly. Like the amount of support and uh, congratulations that I got from like people were everywhere that I was at, like St. Paul's, St. Andrews High School, Warwick Primary School. Uh, just it was overwhelming. It was honestly like it made me feel really, really appreciated. I mean, it wasn't often that I would get to hear from certain people that sent me a message, made me feel really good. Um, you know, it was really nice. It was really nice.
You know, if I was headmaster or teaching that school, your photo would be your picture would be on a wall, and baseball would be part of the curriculum, and everyone would be getting on a coach, get a field in Fife built.
St. Paul's. I think it was the. You know how once you get out of primary school, you get like a yearbook, and it's got like pictures of you, and
Yeah,
it's like most likely to be whatever. And one of the, I'm sure that I've got that yearbook somewhere, but one of the pages it's got most likely to be a baseball player, and I dressed up as a baseball player, and it's got these pants like these trousers that are like halfway up my leg because they don't fit me, and it's just like I look terrible. It's a terrible picture, but that's in there somewhere.
that's so funny. That's brilliant. So a lot happened in 2021 the draft as well, but you also got called up to the GB for the European Championships in Italy
Yeah.
for the 23s. What do you remember about that call up?
I was honestly, I don't really remember. Like I forget a lot of stuff. I remember the flight there. I got a seat by the emergency exit, so my legs can have some extra room. Uh, honestly, but I didn't play really well. That whole tournament, I feel like I let everybody down. Um, but it was a very good experience nonetheless. I mean, other than the fact that they paid me to go out there, and then just for me to play that way, it was just didn't sit well with me at all because I feel like I did them an injustice. Um, but hope to turn things around. The WBC in March. Hopefully that the Phillies will let me go, considering I haven't played a game for them, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. But I'm doing my best to convince them otherwise.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the WBC qualifiers?
Yeah, I saw the game against was it Spain? It's really good.
Yeah. 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 How much did you want to be out there?
See, like I don't do that a lot because I'm very like stuck in the present. Like I'm not supposed to be there the now. So like, and then I'm like, oh, my shoulder's not healthy and
Mm.
haven't swung. So I was like, just this is good for them. Like this is time for them, not time for me. Just focus on my rehab.
Yeah. How is your rehab going?
Good. Starting hit live the other day. I've got video on that and throwing to 150 feet through the bases. Feels pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah. I just want to take you back to those Euros. You said it wasn't the greatest time on the field for you. What are some of your favourite memories then from being around the camp and the off-field stuff?
Just the banter that everybody had was fun to be around, and just getting to hear some of the stories of the players on the team, and just being around them was it's eye opening, and the coaching staff was great also. It was really good. It was a lot of I feel like I was meant to be there for more off the field than on the field. Um, But I remember them singing "God Save the Queen" and them trying to make me sing "God Save the Queen." I'm like, you guys know that I'm from Scotland, right? Like, I know a flower of Scotland, but I don't really know "God Save the Queen." I'm like, I'm sorry.
How well did that go down? Did you mime
Yeah, I did mind it.
it? Drew will be hearing you're going to be in for the high jump. um, so with all your time within baseball, you've been through Scotland and your high school and to where you are now. Which players and coaches have you learned the most from?
High school coach Dennis Braun was like huge, like instrumental, mental toughness and just the fundamentals of baseball. Um, I mean, he's the only man that's cut me 2 years in a row from the team. So that alone kind of made me a different player than everyone else.
Hmm.
Just because he would tell me, I was like, how do I make your team? How do I get better? He's like, just go get better, come back, be better. So that just made me really mad. So I just go and get better, I guess. And then after high school, just honestly, I've been blessed with every level. Like the coaches were really good. Like I learned something from all of them, more good than bad.
Yeah.
Coach John McCormick from FAU, great person, like unbelievable good person. Brian Beckman, good hitting coach. I mean Mitchell Widetic, he was the outfield coach. He's now the infield coordinator at St. Leo. He's more younger, more my age, like 25, but he acts like he's 45. I mean, he's really smart, very wise. Um, Pitching coach. I mean, any level, you name it. Like those coaches were great.
Hmm.
Like even, I mean, for the little time I spent in Italy, like Marcelino, like all that coaching staff, Drew, like they were all amazing. Like I only spent about a month there with them, and uh, they were awesome.
Yeah, they're a great group
Yeah.
of people, the GB staff. I love hearing their stories, and people coming on and telling me about their coaching methods and how they just the the environment they've created and the culture. It's great. It's great to hear their stories. It really is good. So can I ask, you've mentioned before about like like some of the feedback you had just like getting better and just being really wound up and angry by it. Are you still an angry player now, or have you, like you said before, you sort of taking your hands off the wheel a bit? Do you think you play differently now than you did before?
So I should probably clear up what I mean by angry,
Hmm.
because the first 2 years, yeah, I was very upset, very angry because not at anyone else. I was just angry with myself for not being as good as I should be, how I thought I should be. That was my reality. Each like a different pair, like everybody has a different reality of themselves. For me, my reality would be someone else's unrealistic reality. So that's why reality, I have that as a subjective term for me. It doesn't have the same meaning. People give it a negative connotation. So for me, I just don't use it altogether.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think I do have a more mature. It's like a controlled aggression now. It's like be aggressive when you need to be, but don't be controlled by your emotions. Because as a pitcher, you might get away with that, it might work to your favor. But as a hitter, you really need to learn how to control failure. Because I mean, you succeed 30% of the time, and you're a Hall of Famer. Like that to me, numbers wise, 30% is not good at all in anything. Like you get 30% on on your test, that's you failed. But baseball is a little different. So I've come to kind of control that aggression and use some of the darker emotions to your own benefit. But at the same time, it's like fire. You can get burnt with the fire, but you can also make it cook for you. So it's kind of like that. Just don't let it get like just put it toward what
Yeah,
you shouldn't.
that's a good way to put it. That's very interesting. Um, Now we're chatting off air. I'm going to change the subject a little bit. Um, about what you've been doing in the off season and the downtime. Let's talk about the show, MLB the show. Now for many of us, we do our career mode and we create our own characters, but it's going to be a bit different for you this time around, isn't it?
Yeah. Once I start playing, everyone gets like you send an application, say who you are, and then I don't know if it's just the top 30 prospects in the organization because I doubt it. I think it's every player in the minor leagues that gets their own card. But after they see you play for about a year, you send them an email, and they send your own personalized card with a different different font. Like it says the real blah blah blah, and then it's got like your stats like through the roof. And only you have that card. Like, everybody else can play that card, but you can't play with it unless you're the player.
That's amazing. It's such a nice little insight and a bit like behind the scenes into the game. Like, have you seen your stats and your breakdown? Because you see, like on
Uh,
Instagram, like NFL players on Madden, like, oh, I don't agree with my Madden rating. I should be faster than that because I'm not really
so
68 rated prospect.
since I haven't played a single game in Pro Bowl, I haven't sent over the application because they don't have a basis to judge it on. So I don't have it yet.
That'd be really cool though to sort of go go through your actual stats that's in the game against what you have, and you can just
It's
sort of
alright
like,
though. So I'm playing FIFA right now. So I'm
oh
I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
locked in on FIFA right now.
yeah. And how's your FIFA going as part of your rehab?
I just bought Ronaldo, so that'll tell you uh,
Yeah,
how much I've been playing the game.
that is a lot. We were talking
First,
like even with like inflation and prices from when I was playing when I was a nipper, it was outrageous the price on that thing on Ultimate
I
Team
know it's
for the
insane.
players. Yeah, but you've worked hard for this one, have you? No buying
Yeah,
coins.
we're
No,
not. We won't go there. We won't go
no. Oh, see, I thought you were going to give me this little speech
there.
about you know dedication and hard work and commitment to it. No, I was just going to buy a couple of 1,000 coins of some chumping on eBay.
Things in rehab, they're a little different. A little different. Not much to do other than the rehab, and then come back and just play your video games.
Yeah, Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Why?
I was Xbox back when it was like Black Ops 2, but then I was just kind of PlayStation's what I've been using. PS5 is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm broke. There's no way I'm being able to afford one of them. I can't even afford the games. That's how broke I am. It's like 60 quid for them.
Oh,
It's like
the
no.
games are expensive. They're very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and the only games that I've really bought were FIFA, the show, and the new Call of Duty.
Do you
But
not
other
get
than
copies
that,
of the show for free now that you're going to be in it? It's not one of the perks
oh,
of being a
it's a
ball player.
great question. It's a great question. I hope so.
That's one you should definitely be asking. For as long as I'm playing, do I get 12 copies on all formats? If not, I just want a grayed out picture of my face going forward. That's nice. Right, let's get back down to the baseball talk that the good folk tune into, all six of them. um, so I like to find out a bit more about some of the people that mean the most to you in this. So who would make your Mount Rushmore of baseball people? So four individuals that mean the most to you within the baseball world and why they would make your top four.
Sheesh. I mean, that's a lot of people because players alone, I could list a good 15 of them, but to make it a vague, to make it vague, I'll just say my teammates, pretty much all teammates that I've had. I mean, I haven't had a single teammate that hasn't taught me anything. Um, whether they're good at baseball or not good at baseball, whether they're annoying or the best person. Like I've learned something from pretty much all the players I've played with. I mean, the whole coaching staff of each team, like whether I saw eye to eye with them or whether I didn't, still like I wouldn't change anything because there have been some coaches that I just didn't mix well with them, but I've still I wouldn't trade them for anything. So the coaches, players, my parents and family, because a lot of sacrifices on their part that it took for me to be here. Like my uncles, my parents, um, and then the friends off the field, like girlfriend, should be her own category. But honestly, the friends that I value most are the ones that are well rooted in their faith with Jesus. I mean, I said those four categories, but above else, like the number one category for me that matters over anything is Jesus, is my faith, is the Lord. So that's above else, like above everything.
Yeah. Have you always been quite religious, or did you find your faith a bit later on in life?
My whole family's Catholic. I grew up knowing I didn't. So I grew up loving God and not knowing God. I love God. Didn't know God. Didn't know Jesus Christ. Didn't pursue my life in a manner where I put that as the priority. I just kind of put it as a side. Obviously, everyone when everyone is going at their worst, they turn to God as like the last, uh, their safety net. Rather than living that way, I changed that living. I changed it to where it's the first thing I go to, not my safety net. And that last year was really big for that because it's not like you have to live your whole life perfect and um, a holy life. You don't have to do that. That's the Catholic kind of like the Catholic way. Do good things and you'll go to heaven. Do good things and be a good person. It's not about how many good things you can do. It's about accepting and acknowledging what Jesus has done for everybody, dying on a cross, spilling his blood. So last year was really fundamental for me. Instead of living lukewarm, living half-ass life. Don't know how to explain it. Just committing my life to it was started last year, and haven't looked back. Everything's been great.
Cool. Just to sort of bring this session to a close, got another listener question for you. It comes from skipper of the GB national team, Mr. Drew Spencer. Over the past year, you've gone from JUCO, European Championships, D1, professional baseball player. How have you been able to handle such an incredible journey, and what lessons would you pass on to the young Great Britain baseball players about following their dreams and making it from here?
Not to shower anyone with too much repetitiveness on the importance of faith and the wonders that can help, because that's embedded in everybody. But don't let, I mentioned it earlier, don't let other people dictate your reality, because I don't even use the word anymore. Don't, like, every time someone uses "let's be realistic," I cringe, because being realistic is what you want it to be, your reality of things. Even when things aren't that, you say, "This is my reality. This is what I'm going to try and do," and plead with God. Obviously, put Jesus first, because it says in the Bible, you put him first, and all the things will be added onto you. But obviously, there's a Bible verse out there that says, "Faith without deeds is dead." So there can't be no faith without your deeds. So obviously, you work hard, because a life without working hard, bears no fruit. And when I mean working hard, if you think that you worked hard that day, that just means you haven't, because everyone that works hard thinks they can work a little bit harder. And then those people that think that way end up being the hardest workers in the room, because they never stop looking to work harder, looking to be better. And then I would advise people who are in baseball that if your teammates aren't looking at you like you're insane and a madman, like the amount of work that you put in, then you're probably not working as hard as you probably should, because until you get to that point where everyone thinks that you're absolute nuts, that's when your hard work kind of comes into fruition, and you start seeing what you put in to whatever it may be. school, baseball, anything. You get what you put in to the sport or whatever it may be.
That's some really good advice. That's some of the stuff that you said I've tried to instill in my little boy, especially with the bits and pieces about trying to be the hardest worker in the room, but at like a primary school sort of thing. Just trying to get him to enjoy it and just do the best he can. And if he knows he's tried his hardest at something, then that's okay. But again,
And
just like
one last thing is like, if things don't go your way the first time, or the second time, or the third time, or the fourth time, it doesn't stop until you stop. So you can keep going until you win. I mean, it
yeah,
doesn't stop until you say it, time's up. Like, you stop until you win. And that's why um, having faith in the unknown is huge, because when the two mentalities is you can choose to be, okay, things aren't going my way, let me just do something else, or things aren't going my way right now, but I'm being prepared to what I want. I'm feeling now so that it prepares me to where I get to the point where I really want to be, you know?
yeah, yeah, brilliant. Lovely stuff. I think that's a great way for us to end the show. Gabe, it's been fascinating and superb to talk to you. Absolute pleasure. I hope the listeners have enjoyed it as much as I have. Had an absolute blast. So I give the mic over to you. It's all yours. How would you like to end this? It's entitled to you. The last word goes to the guest. So, Gabriel Rincones Jr., thank you very much for your time. The floor is all yours.
Cheers, Matt. If anybody watching that knows me personally, and wants to come see me out, play over in Clearwater or New Jersey or wherever I may be in Philly, don't be afraid to, give me a shout. I would love to see you at the game and give you some tickets. I play for everybody that supports me. So
Lovely stuff. You heard it. Let's get them other people out there.
yeah.
what a holiday's like in New Jersey. Let's see. Excellent. I'm sure you'd be a great tour guide and host.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No? Come
I have
on.
no idea of New Jersey.
No?
No,
You're excited to
I've been
find
there.
out?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a lot like Scottish weather.
Or a bit milder.
Yeah,
You'll be all right. You've been prepared for it.
yeah. No, I like look forward to like the cold weather now this time of year. It's just
Yeah.
so hot in Florida this whole time.
Yeah. Well, don't get any of that here in Manchester.
Uh,
It's always grey and it's always cold. Apart from when it's not. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, thank you again very much for your time. Have a great off season.
Thank you.
I'll try and kick your ass on FIFA sometime. I wish. All right, dude. Have a good one.
All right, Matt.
Take
Thank
care.
you. See you.